Okay. ויאמר אלוהים יהי מאורות ברכי השמיים. There should be luminaries, yeah, in the firmament of the heaven. להבין בין היום לבין הלילה, to differentiate, to distinct between day and night. והיו לאותות ולמועדים ולימים ולשנים, and they shall serve as signs, okay, למועדים for seasons, לימים for days, ולשנים and years. והיו למאורות ברכי השמיים, and they shall serve as luminaries in the firmament of heaven, להאיר על הארץ, to shine upon earth. ויהי כן, and it was so. Okay. So, and the Ramban says, יהי מאורות. הנה האור נברא ביום הראשון, והאיר ביסודות. Right? We said that in the beginning of creation.
53 in the bottom.
Yeah. האור נברא ביום הראשון. That we know. והאיר ביסודות. And it would shine on the four elements only. וכאשר נעשה הרקיע, when the firmament was created on the second day, ביום השני, הפסיק באור ומנע אותו מהעיר ביסודות. So there was the elements which developed into the earth and the water, etc., as we know. Yes, and in between the light that was created, the first light that was created, and the four elements, HaKadosh Baruch Hu create the firmament, the rakia, right? As we know, like we addressed it. But that firmament was thick and opaque, and he didn't allow the light that was created to shine on the elements. So essentially the earth now was dark.
But I thought there was another reason why the light wasn't meant for this world.
Well, we're gonna get there.
I was going to ask, is that,
is
that the light that went away, or that's
yes, that's the light that's going to go away. That's the or ganus, right? The or that was eventually ganus, right?
What does ganus mean?
Stored. That's ביום השני. הפסיק באור ומנע אותו מהעיר ביסודות התחתונים. והנה, כאשר נבראת הארץ בשלישי, when now the earth was finally formed, on the third day, היה בה חושך ולאור. So there was no light shining from the light that was created on the first day to shine on the earth. So there was darkness. ועתה, and now, ברביעי, on the fourth day, which is the day we're addressing now, רצה הקדוש ברוך הוא שיהיו ברקיע מאורות. הקדוש ברוך הוא wanted to have inside the firmament מאורות, luminaries. מגיעים אור לארץ that stream light onto earth. So now essentially he's reopening windows, okay? Or something else. Here it's luminaries, sources of light, okay, that will now conduct the light and stream it on earth. וזה טעם, and that's the reason, ברכיה השמיים that the מאורות are ברכיה השמיים, inside the rakia, in the firmament of שמיים, להאיר על הארץ. What is the purpose? To shine light on earth. כי האור היה למעלה מן הרקיע. Because until now, the light was above the rakia. And the rakia, as we said, was stopping the light from going through. ולא האיר על הארץ. And it couldn't shine on earth. ועניין יהי מאורות. Okay, so that's what happened. So there we have the light, we have the four elements, rakia in the middle. The rakia, the firmament, stopped the light from going through. HaKadosh Baruch Hu decides, we're going to see what exactly, but to put me'orot, luminaries, inside the rakia that will shine light and will direct the light on earth.
Can I ask a question?
Sure.
Did you explain in the previous class what the rakia is?
We learned rakia.
You're here also.
What's the rakia? I know it's the firmament, but was it a physical thing?
Yes, yes, it's a physical.
Remember, there's the Mai Me'ala Rakia,
Yeah, no, I
That's
know,
right.
I know. I'm just trying to
Yes.
understand.
It's like an ohel, like a tent that he stretched.
Okay.
And he went around. We just
Okay, but the question,
V'inyan, yeah.
Rakia still exists, right? It still exists.
Mhm.
Rakia is, so explain to Morris today, what is Rakia? What is in today's world?
I'm trying to put,
That's what he's
yeah, that's,
trying- I
I'm
know,
trying to
I
put
know
a
your
physical,
Explain to him where is Rakia? Explain to him per the Ramban.
It's the seven the rakia is the 7 layers that go from the ozone up, where all the asters belong,
what's an aster?
Stars.
the stars.
Oh, stars.
So all that is the rakia.
Okay.
That's the depth of the rakia.
I'm sorry, all the stars in the Rakia?
Wherever you have, yes, wherever the asters, the stars, the planets,
Planets
yes,
or stars?
both.
But I thought it's supposed to be above that.
Sorry. So,
What is above that?
The rakia.
No.
Shouldn't it be above the stars and the?
No, because you see that it goes beyond that. It's 7 layers, including where you all the stars.
So is it fair to say that for us humans, we have never seen above the Rakia?
Nachon.
Because the Rakia is basically.
Nachon. You've never seen
They
above
talk
Rakia.
about million years of life.
You've
and
never
all
seen
that.
rakia
So
above the
all
rakia.
all this stuff, millions of years. Like,
No, it could be maybe when you go through the Milky Way, you get to something else. I don't know.
there is with the telescope and everything, they see stars that are they say million years away. So all
in
the
the
universe. As
What
we know
what
it.
what we
Well,
see
know
and
the
the
universe.
stars that we see is still part of the rakia.
So that's what I'm saying. So all the universe.
Nobody has seen what's above the rakia.
Okay. You want to go check?
But it has multiple layers.
It has like 7 layers. Now, each layers is
Right.
500.
So where the stars and the planets are is the first layer?
It's on in multiple layers.
Uh-huh.
We don't have any restrictions of stars in stars or planets above that, right? Within the 7 layers, because all the astronomic system,
Mhm.
yeah, all the astronomic system sits inside the rakia.
So I was to say you don't. It's basically the whole universe as far as we know it. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
I don't know if I don't know if
Why?
it's the entire universe, but wherever the stars, the astronomic system is.
Okay.
I don't know what universe is big. Universe is everything.
But you saying that we have that, but
We don't know. I don't know what if it may. Again, I'm telling you, I don't know what's on the other side of the Milky Way. We don't know.
we'll look
Okay.
into that.
So the stars and the moon and the sun are within the rakia.
Yeah, the Torah says it. That inside the rakia.
Okay, yeah.
So it's inside. So where the moon and the star is, it's inside the rakia. Now, what does it mean? Yehi me'orot. Yes. So ki mechomer hashamayim gazar barishon sheye or meshamesh b'midat hayom. On the first day, Akadosh Baruch Hu, when he created the light, it created the light from the hiyuli of heaven. That's the nature of light. The atagazar she'it gashem. But now he decided to take that nature that is heavenly, yes, and he condensed it to a physical shape. And it became an aster, like a source of light, a physical source of light.
The original light.
Yes. In this interpretation.
Well, there's different explanations.
But one second.
No, what he's saying here, just so clear, that the sun
The sun is the source of the first light.
is the source of the first
Yes,
light.
it's a concentration of the source of the first light.
But there's gonna be another explanation.
Okay, that's the Ma'or HaGadol, and that is for the purpose of the day. Gadol Ha'ora, that has a lot of light. Veguf Acher Katan, and a smaller star, a smaller body. Ha'ora, that's also shining light. HaMe'ir Balayla, that shines upon night. והתעלו שניהם ברכייה השמיים. Both of them are placed inside the rakia. Why? שיאירו גם למטה. So that they can also shine downwards. Right? So here it seems like the light shines upwards. You used to shine only up, right? And now it started through those asters, through those stars. It started, there was a gzera that it should shine downwards. That's one opinion of what the me'orot are. Ve'itachen, another opinion, כי כמו ששם בארץ כוח הצמיחה במקומות ממנה, the same way we have found in earth places that are ready for agriculture, for vegetation, and other places that aren't, for example, the desert, right? כן שם ברקיע מקומות מוכנים ומזומנים לקבל האורה. There are places within the rakia, within the firmament, that were ready to receive the source of light and be able to shine it.
So they're not actually light, they're reflections of the light.
Exactly. והגופים האלה מקבלי אור מזהירים, they receive the light, okay, that shine כגון האספקלריה ואבני שוהם, like the aspaclaria and the onyx. The onyx shines light, but it's not a source of light. It only reflects the light that it receives.
What's specularia?
Aspaclaria. Aspaclaria is
Vision.
yes, it's like you say a mirror that reflects what it absorbs.
Got it.
Yeah, we use essentially these words aspaclaria meira ve'esoshenei meira, right? And when you talk about prophecy, yes, the Chachamim address it. Moshe had aspaclaria meira. He had a vision that was clear. Yeah, that no buffers. Every other prophet has aspaclaria she'ena meira. Right? It was like not a mirror, like a lens, but that's not meir. That doesn't bring out all the light. That's only bringing a little bit of light. The lens, very good.
In essence, what they're trying to say is that Moshe had a clear vision, no stories, like he saw the direct information. We studied this we do the Mabim in the end, and everybody else saw remazim. They saw all kind of,
through the imagination.
They did not get clear messages.
I put that.
I'm just saying,
Yeah,
you look
thanks for
confused. You just look confused.
No, I wasn't.
Raise the
confused.
glasses.
That was actually
Raise the
very
glasses.
clear.
כן, ולכן יקראם מאורות. And that's why they are called me'orot and not orim. They're not orim is a source of light. Me'orot, me'ir, is the one that projects the light. אף על פי שקרא המזמור, כן, even though that in the מזמור in Tehillim, כן, it does mention orim, but it's not really the source of light, is the me'orot. Okay.
No, but me'orot, as we talked about last time, we asked you the same question. Me'orot is from the light. That's what he's trying to say.
It's projecting.
That doesn't make any sense.
Me'ir, it brings out.
If the sun and the moon were created from the Uraganus,
No, they're not. So according to that
That's not-
explanation,
no,
all they are is projecting the
Oh,
light that they're receiving.
okay,
It would, your question is according to the first
I got it.
opinion.
But,
Okay.
but technically, physically, this does not seem accurate, right?
Why?
The sun,
It's because it's a primary source of light.
because we know today the moon is reflecting light from the sun. That's very clear. But the sun is a source of light. So
Or not, because you don't know where it's getting its source. We look at the sun as a source of light, but where is it getting that energy? This we don't know. So according to that pirush, what fuels the sun's energy is
it's
only
organus.
is the organus that's shining on it.
But okay. That means that IKEA is not opaque.
No, he's saying
No,
He said
that's the window.
That's the window.
That's exactly what he said. You have places that again. That's according to the first pirush. You're right. According to the second pirush, no, it's Hakadosh Baruch Hu opened windows. Okay, there are those asters. Yes, that actually receive the light from Organus and shine it back.
No, ask them which one's right.
Waiting for the punchline.
Well, punchline, that's the punchline.
No, which one's right?
So he doesn't conclude that the first or the second. thing
No,
is
they're
right?
both. They can be both right. להבדיל בין היום ובין הלילה.
You can't even say that with a straight face. Like, how could they be both right?
כתב רש"י, כתב רש"י, משנגנז האור הראשון, להבדיל בין היום ובין הלילה, right? From when there was the מאורות started differentiating between the day and the night, from the moment that the Or HaGanuz, the Or HaRishon, the first light in its original form, was Nignaz. אבל בששת ימי בראשית, but during the 6 days, and it's we have to say during the the last days, right? The first 3 days, שימשו האור והחושך זה ביום וזה בלילה. So the or, the source of or, and the source of choshech, we're only doing chazara. The source of or and the source of choshech were the vectors that were differentiating and defining day and defining night. Today, what defines day and defines night is the influence of the sun or the influence of the moon.
So what he's trying to say here?
Until there was Nignaz, until the moment we had those me'orot, what would differentiate day and night?
Organus.
The light of Oraganus or the choshech that was created. Yeah, that's it. And now it's not the choshech or the Oraganus, it's the sun or the moon.
Yeah.
ואיני רואה,
But it was up. But that's from the Yom. That's up
That's
to
exactly-
Yom Revi.
that's right, that's it. ואיני רואה שיהיה זה דעת רבותינו המזכירים גניזה על האור הראשון. So he doesn't see that what Rashi means really, aligns with the opinion of the Chachamim that address the גניזה on the אור הראשון. אבל לדעתם האור הראשון שימש 3 ימים. Because according to Rashi says, אבל בששת ימי מעשה, right? So he says, what we know that the Organus was Ganuz on
Day 1. No, day 3.
on day 3. So really should say, משנגנז האור הראשון, אבל בשלושת ימי בראשית, שימשו האור והחושך, right? That's what we should say. Rashi doesn't say that, he says, but so he says that what we know from Chachamim doesn't fit with the accuracy of the Lashon of Rashi. The first light was during the first 3 days. Right? Then this light of the Or HaGanuz was then transformed, okay, through and shined through the meorot that were created.
So there's no more Rishon?
There's no more Orishon shining on creation except through those 2 ambassadors, those 2 buffers, the sun and the moon. כמו שאמרו, נובלת אורה של מעלה, גלגל חמה, right? A microcosm of the אורה של מעלה, of the light from above, is the חמה, is the sun. כי לפי שלא היה העולם הזה ראוי, and why did this happen? Right? Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu stop shining the Or HaRishon, right, on creation? לפי שלא היה העולם הזה ראוי להשתמש באור. The world was not worthy, okay, to benefit from thy light and they wouldn't use it properly. בלי אמצעי, without an intermediate, without a buffer. And therefore, גנזו לצדיקים לעתיד לבוא. הקדוש ברוך הוא took this light and put it aside for the tzaddikim, for the word to come. ושימשו בנובלת הזו מיום הרביעי ואילך, and now they started, a new microcosm was created which is what? Through the sun and the moon. And now this is the parameter, and these are the vectors that will differentiate between the day and the night. It's no longer Or Harishon and Chosher that was created. It's Chama and Levana, the sun and the moon.
Sorry, why did he wait and to do this till Yom Levi? Or to do Gniza to Yom Shlishi? If it wasn't Raui, there's nothing that happened between creation and Yom Shlishi that.
So why should he be gonez?
Why do you even do it?
What? No, the question.
No, why having the Or HaGanuz?
Yeah.
L'tzadikim la'atid lavo. There is a purpose. There is, and we've addressed this. It's a good question you're asking.
Yeah, and the question is that question we did discuss, but you can repeat the answer. But the question is, if it created in order to take it away, for the tzaddikim, why did he wait until now? Why didn't he do it and then Gnizah right away?
There was no reason to be gonez until then.
You had the light.
So
Doesn't matter. You had the light.
you had no reason to do gones. You could have.
No,
Yeah, Tachlis, you couldn't. You could have
You had
do
the light.
gones. 1 second.
You had the light and you had the
But you
chosher.
could have done that until Yom Shishi.
So, yeah.
You could have waited.
No, you can't.
Shishi
And I
before
go-
Adam Nifla.
No, because it's the earth itself also. The earth benefits itself. It benefits from the Or HaGanuz, right? If you let it go, right? All the animals and all the entire creation benefits from it.
Okay.
Kadosh Baruch Hu didn't want the nature to create from
But
to benefit.
in Yom Sheni, the nature.
No.
Benefited. What's created in Yom Sheni? In Yom Shlishi.
But it wasn't shining because of the rakia.
Rakias was created on which day?
Sorry.
Which day was Rakia? Sheni or Shlishi?
שני, ויאמר אלוהים יהי אור, יהי רקיע בתוך המים, והיא מבדיל בין המים. Yeah,
Okay, nehedar. So,
that's right. So now there's no light
but
on Tachiares Beshet.
exactly what you're saying. So he could have waited until Yom Shishi because there's no light of Revi. If he didn't put the Chama into this,
But he
until
wants
Yom
to say,
Shishi-
but he wants a system. He wants the asters. He wants a system put in place.
The question is, if you put the system in order for the system was put in replacement for the Oreganus, that's basically what you're saying. Because if
Yes, you need at the end. You need light, right? If you have a firmament and the firmament now blocks the light, right? And you have chosher, yes. The Hakadosh Baruch Hu wants to replace that a system of or and chosher to chama and levana.
no problem. So why was the question? Why did he wait until why did he wait until now to do it?
When do you want
What
him
are you
to
doing
do
on
it?
day 3?
Exactly. Why did he do it the day before? He was busy. I mean,
You're asking why he didn't do it?
on day 3, or together when he does the rakia to do the shemesh and
I mean,
Yameh.
if you think about it, shouldn't he have done it on day
Day
3
two.
for the vegetation?
No, we should have done it day 2 together
Before-
with the
Say before
rakia.
the vegetation.
I hear the question.
They could all be right.
Now I hear the question. Why Hakadosh Baruch Hu waited until now to do it?
Can you find out?
Yeah, Be'ezrat Hashem, look into it. But regarding your question, that the Or HaGanuz still shines on creation every day. Okay, the Zohar Kadosh says we spoke about it. It's called Kadruta de Tzafra, right? Right before the dawn, the Zohar Kadosh says that Hakadosh Baruch Hu shines a dark light, which is the Or HaGanuz. Okay, that shines upon creation for the tzaddikim. And that light is what allows the tzaddikim to reveal their Torah, that reveal their potential during that day. That's why the Chachamim, the Zohar says that you have to be awake before dawn. Yes. So in order to be zoche to that Or HaGanuz, right, and this is why also the learning of after Chatzot all the way to dawn is considered the more salud, the slilut da'at happens during at this time. This is why the Mekubalim learns Torah Tasod, the secrets of the Torah, especially during this portion of the night, because of the Chasadim, but whatever. But right before dawn, like half an hour before the dawn, yes, Hakadosh Baruch Hu shines that light, which is a very dark light, yeah. And if you are learning Torah at that moment, you benefit from that light, yeah. And now through that light, you will have clarity to learn the Torah on a completely different level.
Should we move our classes to?
To 2 a.m.
No,
I think Rabbi Eli Mansour pays a bunch of guys to learn
Yes.
throughout the night.
Yes, from midnight to 4 a.m. Yes, it's called Kolel Chatzot. There's in many places in Israel. Yes. Yes,
You would think it would be harder to comprehend things when you're tired.
but you're not tired because it's just a different way of lifestyle. After Arvit, they have dinner, they go to sleep, they wake up at midnight, 1 o'clock. Yeah, by the time you wake up, you do your Birkot HaShachat, you do your Tikkun Chatzot, 1:30, 1:30, depending on the in the winter it's more, you have more time because the night is long. In the summer it's short. And that's it. And then you go into Shacharit. It's fine. It's not a big deal.
It sounds easy.
Yeah,
It is easy.
Let's try them off.
It is easy.
Yeah, once you get used to it.
You have to get used to it. It's easy. It's not a big. It's really not a big deal. How many hours do you sleep a night? 5, 6, 8,
Yeah.
9.
I'm not a big
No,
sleeper.
you're not 5 hours. Let's say 6 hours.
6 hours, yeah.
Okay.
7.
So if you go to sleep at 9, you wake up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Yeah, you're fresh. You have your 6 hours.
Okay.
No, it's not. It's really not a big deal. I mean, okay, well,
What is בנובלת?
Novelet is a microcosm. What is the representative of the or down is the chama. What represents the or shelemala lemata is the chama. That's what the Midrash says.
ככה אמרו בראשית רבה.
Okay, so now what happened? The or was nignaz because the world cannot deal with this intensity of the or haganuz, and HaKadosh Baruch Hu shrunk the or haganuz to a very, very, very little density, if you will, that will shine on creation. Yes. According to the first Pirush, he took it and he just placed it in the Chama and the Levana. This is why Chachamim, they say that the sun cures. Why the sun? Where's the HaKadosh Baruch Hu placed the refuah inside the sun? Why? Because of the Or HaGanuz. The Or HaGanuz has the koach lerapot. Yeah. Now, according to the second opinion, it's just like a much diluted version of the light that is streamed through the sun and through the moon. And he says, like, and he brings the midrash that why didn't HaKadosh Baruch Hu shine it as the beginning of the days? Because he knew of the Yetzer Hara and he knew of the wickedness of Mez and the chet of Adam HaRishon, and therefore, and we're going to see it soon, yes, and therefore, not to put man in a position where he has so much power that can actually backfire on him, which is the Or HaGanuz. HaKadosh Baruch Hu took away that weapon. כך אמרו בבראשית רבה. Tani, it says in the Parashah, אורה שנבראת בששת ימי בראשית, that light that was created in the 6 days of the creation, להאיר ביום. להאיר ביום, to light during the day, אינה יכולה, it cannot. Why? שאם מקהה גלגל חמה, because then it dilutes the light of the sun. בלילה אינה יכולה, and at night you cannot use that אור הגנוז, or neither. Why? שלא נבראת להאיר אלא ביום, because it was created for the purpose of the day. והיכן היא? So where is it? נגנזה. It was stored. והיכן היא? So for what purpose? מתוקנת לצדיקים לעתיד לבוא. Right? So your question of why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu created this Or HaGanuz? Because the tzaddikim will use לעתיד לבוא, okay, in the time to come, in the world to come, they use that Or HaGanuz.
That's a little different than what we discussed originally.
Correct. It's a different midrash. Correct. That's a different midrash. Now, and here here, what does it mean? What does it mean? מתוקנת לצדיקים לעתיד לבוא? For what purpose? He brings the pasuk in Yeshaya. והיה אור הלבנה. The light of the moon should be כאור החמה. Will be like the light of the sun, meaning the moon will shine like the sun shines. ואור החמה, and the light of the sun, יהיה שבעתיים, will be sevenfold, 7 times more. כאור שבעתיים ימים, like the sun, like the light of the Maasei Bereshit. Meaning what? That the sun today is 1/7 of the Or HaGanuz, because it's sevenfold, 7 times. So the Gemara says Shiva. What do you mean Or Shivat Hayamim? Itma. It's a question. Lo shlosha, isn't it 3? Because we know that the Or only shine for the first 3 days. So the Midrash like it's a slang. It's a way of talking. Ken v'chen ana mafkid l'shiv'a yomei demishtem. Like when you prepare something for the Sheva Brachot, you said I prepared this for the Sheva Brachot, but you know that you're not going to use it for the 7 days. You only use it for a few days, right? So kelomar leshon b'nei adam, it's the way people talk. Sheyomar ani mafkid v'shomer ze habasar l'shivat yemei hamishte sheli. I'm going to use this meat for the 7 days of festivities that I have. It's clear that you're not going to use that meat for all 7 days. So when the pasuk says ke'or shivat hayamim, right, when Yeshaya says ke'or shivat hayamim, it doesn't mean that the light of the Or Harishon shines for 7 days. It shines during in those 7 days. When? The first 3 days. לא שיספיק לו לשבעה כולם, אלא שיוציא אותו בתוכם. וכן אמרו 7 הימים, כאור שהיה בימים ההם במקצתם. Right? When that light shined in the portion of the 7 days, which means the first 3 days. ושם אמרו עוד, and in the Midrash there, he continues and says, ויבדל. When ויבדל, the pasuk says, in pasuk, if you look at pasuk dalet, vayar Elohim et haor ki tov. Hashem saw that the light was good. Vayavdel Elohim ben haor uben hachashech. Hakadosh Baruch Hu separated, right, ben haor, between the light and between choshech. So the Midrash asks the question, vayavdel. What does it mean vayavdel? He separated, he differentiated. Rabbi Yehuda, Rabbi Simon Amar, Rabbi Yehuda, right? The son of Rabbi Simon says, Hivdilo lo. He separated it for himself. He took it back for himself. The Rabbanan Amrin, but Chachamim say, Hivdilo la tzadikim le'atid lavo. He separated it from creation and he kept it for the tzadikim for later on. Now that's the Midrash. And then he says like this. Now, what does that mean, that pshat? That he kept it for himself? Okay. And Rambanan says that he gave it to the. He says, if you can understand the secrets of Chachamim in the bracha that we make when we do Birkat HaLevana, and it's that bracha is brought in Masechet Sanhedrin. Ateret Tiferet, the crown and the Tiferet, la'amuse baten, is for the one that were carried in the womb. Teda soda or harishon. If you understand what this means, then you'll know what is the secret of the Or HaRishon, number 1, and you'll understand what is Geniza, why it was kept, and you understand why the Avdala and the differentiation there was. Shamar hivdilo lo. Right? So if you understand all this, you understand what it means. Hivdilo lo. He kept it for himself. And you also understand what the Gemara says, that the sun and the moon were 2 kings, yes, that were ruling over one creation. And then, as we know the whole story, the moon comes and says to God, how can 2 kings rule over one kingdom? And what Hashem tells me, you know what? you're gonna shrink yourself, and the Levana was punished. And then the Gemara tells us that Kadosh Baruch Hu felt bad because he punished the Levana when the Levana really was not supposed to be. She only asked a question. So that the Torah tells, Kadosh Baruch Hu says, you're going to bring a korban, right? Every day you're going to bring a korban for me as a kapara for punishing the moon when it really didn't need to be punished. Okay.
Who's bringing
The Kohanim, every day they used to bring a korban that was for that. כאשר בסוף שיהיה אור הלבנה כאור החמה. אחר שיהיה אור החמה שבעתיים. And what? We're going to go back. I'm going to explain this.
Yeah, we skipped this last time.
We skipped it. I'm going to go into it. I'm going to go into because it's pretty heavy, but we'll address it.
Nothing's
Okay. So that's okay. So if you understand what Ateret Tiferet Lamusevaten means, that the Ateret and the Tiferet are for the ones that were carried in the womb, then you'll understand what Or HaRishon is, and then you understand the Gniza, and once you understand all this, you understand what Chachamim really meant when they say Hivdi Lo Lo, right?
But he doesn't explain what it means.
What the Havdalah is. Okay, he doesn't tell you, but he tells you, he gives you codes. He gives you codes.
You can explain this, but I tell you,
I'm going to get into it. And you'll also understand what the Gemara in Masechet Chulin means, that two melachim in one keter, and why at the end, right? What is the prophecy? That now everything's going to shine again like it was before, right? That the Or HaLevana ke'or HaChama, so now they will be equal. The Or HaChama ke'or Shivat HaYamim, right? Meaning what? Meaning now that they're all going to get the Or Shivat HaYamim. Good? Now, that's what he says. And we're going to explain. Okay. So like this.
Okay, buckle up.
Are we're familiar with the Sefirot? Yes?
by heart.
Okay. When HaKadosh Baruch Hu created the world and created the Sefirot, we know that the Malchut was created in the Bereshit. Bet Reshit. We've addressed this. Yes?
Yeah.
Very good. When there was Ishtalsheluyot HaOlamot, when the Sefirot were forming themselves by the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Keter was formed, and then the Chokhmah and the Binah. We spoke about this in the beginning, yes? And then the Chasadim, Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Netzachot, Yesod, Malchut. The way we know it today is that Malchut is all the way in the bottom, and it's a vessel receiving the light from everybody. Yes. Originally, and now it's the time to address it, not before, because originally the Malchut was at the level of the Tiferet. It didn't go down. When will it go down and become a vessel that receives? By the time of Adam HaRishon, at the time of the Chet of Adam HaRishon. Okay, and we'll put everything back together. Please be patient. But until that moment, it would receive the light, the will of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, at the same level and at the same time as the Midat HaTiferet, which is the centerpiece of the Chasadim. It sits exactly in the middle, right? Yes, we're good. You remember the diagram, yeah? So the Malchut was all the way up with the Tiferet. So what you had Chesed, Gvura, Tiferet, Malchut next to it, and then Netzarot and Yesod. So the last one was the Yesod. Okay? The Tiferet is Tiferet. And the Malchut is the Ateret that we're talking here. Ateret Tiferet, the Midat HaMalchut, which is, how do you define royalty? The crown. That's Ateret.
Ah,
The Ateret and the Tiferet are la Amusebat and are for the ones that are carried by in the womb, were supposed to be Meshamesh, to serve Adam. That was the purpose.
Adam Rishon?
Adam Arishon, Adam and humanity.
but he wasn't carried in the bed then.
I understand. He wasn't carried with them. That's their purpose is for that. Yes, that's what they're going to be molid. He messed it up. It was for his descendants. Now, and that's the bracha on the levana. Okay, that's when we make the bracha of the levana. We say ateret tiferet amusevatem.
But does Yesod, it represents in the body is a male part.
Correct.
Does it
Both.
does it translate
Both.
female also?
Both male and female.
So does Baten then here also translate as Yesod?
No, it's referring to Bnei Israel. I hear what you're saying. The Pri Etz Chaim doesn't say that. The Pri Etz Chaim, but it no. I hear what you. Yes, in a sense that they converge to the Yesod. Yes, that the Tiferet and the Ateret and the Tiferet shine onto the Yesod. Is that what you mean? Yes.
Yeah.
The answer is yes. Yes. Now this, what happened? HaKadosh Baruch Hu understands, and that's that's Tikkun HaOlam, okay? Meaning eventually when we will finish the chet of, we will fix the chet of Adam HaRishon, of humanity, the Malchut will go back up.
But you said before it didn't drop.
Huh?
No,
You
it
said
did
before
drop.
it did not drop.
It did, eventually it will drop. Yes, and
No.
when it was created, it didn't, it
No,
was
but now-
created,
now
it dropped.
uh,
If there was not a chet that was going to happen, it would not have dropped. Now, because the Kadosh Baruch Hu knew that Adam HaRishon will sin, yes, and if Adam HaRishon will benefit from that or of the Malchut that is at the level of the Tiferet, right? While he can sin, there is no room for teshuvah, for forgiving. There is no way you can fix anything. So what did HaKadosh Baruch Hu do? He took the Malchut and bring it down.
I don't understand. Why is there no room for a teshuvah? When the malchut is up?
When the Malchut is,
Why?
I'll tell you why. Because now the only way there's a room for teshuvah is if there is place for a mistake. When there is a place of a mistake, if you have you have emptiness. If you don't have emptiness and everything is full, then you're supposed to be complete.
So when it was up, everything was complete.
Everything was
I
complete.
got it.
What happened is that now HaKadosh Baruch Hu took the vessel of Malchut and brought it down and left the ore from the Malchut that was there, and that ore ganazota. So now what happens? Now you have the Tiferet that continues to shine, but you have now a vessel that is an empty vessel without the light. And the Malchut is who? The Malchut is the Bnei Israel, is the Avodah, it's our efforts. And it's what you can impact and elevate, or this is what you can destroy. So essentially through your Avodat Hashem and through you connecting to the Or HaGanuz, you refill your vessel that is called Malchut, and through that, now you can serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu in a more complete way. Because you tap into that light again. This is why, Al Pi HaKabbalah, it's so important to benefit from that Skadruta de Safra, from that Or HaGanuz that shines before dawn. Yes? Until now, okay. So he says like this: if you understand the kavanah of the Birkat HaLevana, that we're basically the avodah, and what we pray for in the Chidush of the Levana, we're actually asking HaKadosh Baruch Hu and praying to bring back, yes, the Malchut up to the Tiferet, so that now it can become one again with its light, and now shine upon creation with Shlemut, with the light, with now that Or HaRishon.
But then
This-
you don't have lehavdil,
I'm sorry?
right? Then there's no separation.
Exactly. No, 1 second. This is what we pray for. That's the Tikkun L'Atid Lavo. That's what we pray for. 1 second. Now, if we understand that, this is what we pray for. Teda Sod HaOr HaRishon. Now we understand what is the Or HaRishon. The Or HaRishon is the light of the Malchut that was shining at the level of the Tiferet. And now we understand what is Geniza. What is Geniza? Is essentially that the light was left without a vessel, so it has to be taken and stored until the vessel is elevated again. And this is the avodah of Bnei Israel. That's the Tikkun HaOlam. This is the Shem Yechud Kudsha Berechu Shchinte, right? Leakim Shchinta Me'avra. That's to elevate the Shekhinah. Yes? Good. All the avodah, all the service of the mitzvot is to bring down the Or of HaKadosh Baruch Hu through our actions and elevate the world. Elevate the world to a level that it's not that the spirituality and physicality become one. And all for the one purpose of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. It's all our avodah is to fix the malchut, which is ourselves, right? Being each individually and as Klal Yisrael a vessel to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and and through our mitzvot we bring down the light of HaKadosh Baruch Hu to fill up that malchut. That malchut is being fixed by the beracha of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, by the light of Hashem, and it now elevates the malchut essentially be'ezrat Hashem to what? To the place of the Tiferet. So, yes. And now, what did he do? He took the light, and where was he mavdil? Where did he separate it for? For himself. What was the purpose of that light? Of the Malchut? What was the purpose of it? To serve him. Yes?
Yeah.
So that light essentially is for who? Is for HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That's the pshat hivdilo lo. So Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Simon says the ultimate purpose of the light was for who? Was for him. Comes Chachamim and says, no. But why was he mavdil it? In what purpose? So that the tzaddikim can serve him. This is the machlokat between Rabbi Yehuda Rabbi Simon and Chachamim. They're essentially both saying the same thing from a different angle. The purpose of the Or HaGanuz, the Or of the Malchut, is to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, is for HaKadosh Baruch Hu's glory. They say, come Chachamim and say, yes, it's true, but it's for the tzaddikim to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? So you understand? So he was mavdil, he differentiated the light from the rest of the light, which is the other light? The Tiferet, because the Tiferet is still shining. Yes? And he was mavdilit so that the tzaddikim can eventually serve him. And because there is the chet in the world, they cannot now use it. Why? Because if they are complete and they make a sin, there's no room for teshuvah. Therefore, it's kept le'atid lavo, where there will be tikkun ha'olam, and the tzaddikim will now use it to serve HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And now we understand Havdalah. וזאת שני המלכים המשתמשים בכתר אחד. What is the מלכים, the שתי מלכים המשתמשים בכתר אחד? This is the Chama and the Levana. It's essentially the Tiferet and the Malchut. Yes? And both of them were משתמשים בכתר אחד. They were both serving using one keter, which is the Sefirat HaKeter. כאשר בסוף שיהיה אור לפניי. And now what? כאשר בסוף, when will they both be able to serve again the Keter, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, equally together? How does that work? When the Levana will go through her tikkun and will be elevated to the Chama. When the Malchut will now be elevated to the Tiferet.
Then they serve the keter.
And then they serve the Keter, and now the Chama, right? Keshivat Hayamim. Now they can now benefit from the Or HaGanuz that was created in its original way, which is the Tiferet and the Malchut, both complete together.
What about the Levana?
The Levana is the Malchut that gets elevated. That's exactly what it is. So now the Levana is elevated to the Chama, meaning what? The Malchut is elevated to the Tiferet.
So why are you saying for Or Chama Shivatayim?
Because now both of them that are together,
So why it's not saying Levana?
but it doesn't need to say, because once the Levana is elevated to the Chama, if they're the same, then and whatever the Chama gets, the Levana gets, because they're at the same level. You understand?
So why does Hashem consider it a chet that he brought the Levana down?
I'm sorry?
Why does Hashem consider it a chet that he brought the Levana down?
No, very, very good question. Because at the end, if there is a concept of a sin, yes, and he applied it in his creation, he's a sinner.
I don't understand something.
You understand what I'm, one second. You understand what I'm saying or no? Mechila, hold your question. Again, if he knows that Adam will sin, and because he knows there's going to be a concept of sin in the world, he already applies a system for teshuvah because of the sin. So that means that he accepted the sin as part of creation. For this, he considers himself a sinner.
Because he's accepting the sin.
Exactly. So for this, he says, bring for me a korban for what I sinned.
So in this, I just want to make sure.
Yes.
So then, in the fact that Hashem accepts teshuvah in His own,
Not teshuvah. He has to accept teshuvah because there is the concept of sin in the world. So that means that he accepts that there is sinning in the world. So he's part of it.
Oh, sorry. So why did he
Well,
create sin?
one
What do
second.
you mean?
No,
accept?
Because if that's the
Let me
free
ask
will.
a question. When Malchut was on the same level of Tiferet,
Yes.
there wasn't sin, right?
There was a concept of sin. Yes.
Where?
We know that he knows that there's what do you mean? There's free will
One
that will
second.
be
If you have
free will
sin,
that will be given to men.
but there's no teshuvah, so how could you have sin?
That's exactly the point. No, the opposite.
What do you mean?
You can for sure you can have sin without teshuvah. You can
How?
You can't have teshuvah.
you cannot have teshuvah without the sin, but you can sin
sin.
without teshuvah.
Because you can have a sin and there's no way to correct it.
Exactly.
That's possible.
But the other way around, you cannot.
No, the question is why did he create sin at all?
Because if there's no sin, there's
Free
no
will.
free will. If there's no free will, what's the point? Right? HaKadosh Baruch Hu created.
Utopia.
But it's not clear. We agree with that, but the way that you explain this is like Hashem created something and then he realized something, then he did this and this.
No, he didn't realize. It's part of the plan. It's part of the plan. You see that it's clearly part of the plan.
Oh,
It's not
why
that-
did, but okay, but again, it's like, it's like when I renovated my apartment, I renovated it, then I tore it apart, then I built it again.
nobody
No.
sees all of that as the first one.
Right.
He knows
I got it,
all
but if
this.
you
You
know-
don't.
Okay, but if
He
you
knows.
know-
But there's no knowledge. They know that it's a purpose. It's not that knowing. There's no mistake.
But if the
He does it
purpose-
for a purpose.
But
He
if-
knows what he's doing.
But if HaKadosh Baruch Hu wants eventually to get to point A, why does he need to go through all these?
Why does he need to?
steps?
But why does he need to create? He doesn't need to create.
No, the point he's trying to make is
I understand what
it's
it
a
is.
tikkun olam.
So then, okay, but let me
Leave
ask
the
you.
tikkun olam in the beginning.
Nachon. But so apparently he wants the tikkun olam to happen like this.
It's like a game.
Yes, for him it's a game. For him it's a game. There's no other. There's no other. We don't know why he decided to do that. Why did HaKadosh Baruch Hu needed the world? He doesn't need the world. He doesn't need to create. What does he need?
Total head.
He wants to reward his children.
Huh? He wants rewarded. That's the answer. That's the free will. That's the free. Why? But why? So why go through this? Some Chachamim says, You don't want the bread that is that comes with shame. Right? Meaning you don't want to you if you're perfect, then you're not deserving anything. Kadosh Baruch Hu made you as a robot, that you don't deserve anything. When you press enter or return on your computer, you say thank you. Toda rabba. Thank you for making it.
So he wanted,
That's what it's made for.
he created this.
No. Huh?
Yeah, there's a show called The Twilight Zone.
The what?
The Twilight Zone.
Toilet?
Twilight, like dusk.
Ah, okay.
this
Oh, yeah,
It's
okay.
a very famous show in the
It's like the
60s
story.
and 70s.
Okay.
And one of the shows had someone, the people were acting and everything like that. And then at the end of the show, it's a crazy show. They show someone above
Controlling
this
it, right?
this diorama, this neighborhood, like a game, like a puzzle, like little people in this neighborhood, and the guy up here controlling everything and watching them making mistakes.
Yeah, Kadosh Baruch Hu is like that.
Like the Truman Show.
Yeah.
The what?
Truman Show. It's
Yeah,
another
that's
movie.
Twilight Zone.
The same idea.
Okay.
So I was saying that there will be a time in the future where the Malchut is raised back up,
Yes.
and then what? And then will we still sin?
And that no, there's no more sin. That's tikkun olam. Then Akadosh Baruch Hu takes away the sin. It's the end of the period of sin completely.
Free will.
I'm sorry. And at that point, it's a serving of Akadosh Baruch Hu.
That's a good
Okay.
point.
No, but then it's
So
not-
the Ramban
That's
addressed
a
it.
great
It's a
point.
great
Where's
point.
the free will?
So it's a very good point. That's why it's very dangerous.
We're waiting for you, Zach.
So the Ramban addresses, and what is the concept of Mashiach? Okay, the concept of Mashiach is when you will naturally know what to do all the time. So yes, there will be the opportunity, but your tendency and your nature will be so aligned with the will of Hakadosh Baruch Hu that there's not going to be anything pushing you in the wrong direction. Just like Adam Arishon before he sinned, yes, yeah, without the influence of the Nachash. If there was no influence of the Nachash, there would not have been any sins, and that won't last forever. Yes, it's the Elef HaShvi'i only.
Wait, what?
Oh,
It's only for the Elef HaShvi'i. After that, everything transfers to spirituality. Everything
After
that we know.
7,000 years?
Yes.
go. All that land we bought in Jerusalem to get buried there is the Tausch. Yeah,
We
go again.
won't need it anymore.
No, but explain this again. Everybody here
We
doesn't-
spoke about this.
No, we didn't.
7,000 years we did.
No, we didn't.
Yes, yeah.
No, we didn't. What are you talking about? Maybe it's Rabbi Farki. You're confusing.
No.
No, sorry. Explain again.
After what
Mashiach came.
from the point of Mashiach
Yeah.
until the end of the physical creation, okay. There's an Elef HaShevi. That's the Shabbat, right? The world was created for 7,000 years. Yes. Yes.
The world was created for seven.
Yes, for a period of
So
7,000 years.
between when the Mashiach comes until the year 7,000 from creation, at year 7,000 from creation, what happens?
At the end of 7,000, so there's a few opinions, but most of the opinions say that now the world is complete, it's shalem, and it translates into full spirituality. Everything becomes spiritual, is elevated to spiritual, no more physicality.
Meaning
we're all dead.
we're Armageddon.
No,
So what does that mean?
No more physicality. That means human life
That's
doesn't exist anymore.
not the way we know it exactly.
so no.
Only spiritual.
We should, the state planning. We should.
Go
we
to my
should-
goals
we
or
should-
No,
Think about it,
it's
state
finished.
plan.
Isn't there's also the greatest judgment is at that point, at the end of the 7,000 or at the end of the 6,000?
At the end of the 6,000. That's it. The Mashiach has to come before. That's the period
So
between Mashiach and the end.
So we're right now in year 5,000 something.
Yes,
So in 1,500 years, kaput, everything is gone.
basically. Not gone,
Or
elevated,
it's not.
elevated.
It is. You
What
said
happens? What happens if it doesn't?
that there is no. That's not an option.
That we had
I
this
won't be
discussion.
there to debate it.
Well,
Maybe I will. I don't know, in another
Okay,
form.
we had this discussion, and then the rabbis will say, no, it's going to be, they miscalculate, it's another 1,000 years,
this is
It could
scary
be.
stuff.
like Parasu Madai.
It could be. Ken. Ul Mu'adim, but that's now we have a little bit of an understanding, a better understanding of what.
Me out. the situation.
Then-
You already have anxiety from dying. Now you just took it to a different level.
It's 1,500 years. It's 1,500 years.
No, I'm out of medication. That's why I'm off.
You just need a 1,500-year ground lease.
Right, exactly. והיו לאותות, yes, והיו לאותות, השינוי שיולידו, right? They will transform themselves, they change themselves, ויעשו ממנו אותות, and those changes of the moon and the stars will be applied for what? מופתים, miracles, בשמיים ובארץ, right? Like we know, for example, the one example is the ליקוי החמה, the eclipse of the sun
Yeah.
is known to be a klala. It's not good for the world.
That's why they say don't look at it.
נכון, but it's also it's not a סימן, זה לא סימן טוב. Right? ליקוי הלבנה, the same, so that's what it means, בשמיים ובארץ, דם ואש ותמרות עשן, that's the pasuk, right?
Yes.
That's what the pasuk says. כלשון ומאותות השמיים אל תחטאו, right? Don't get scared from the signs of shamayim, meaning from what the asters, what the stars are predicting. Why? Because we're above the mazal. That's what it means leotot, for signs, yeah.
Yeah.
Ulmoadim, and it will be, now the sun and the moon will be the vectors to determine moadim, right? It's the 4 seasons. זה הקציר, קור וחום, קיץ וחורף, לימים. Now it's replacing the Or Rishon and Choshech. So now we have Midat Hayom and Midat Halayla. Now we have the sun for the day and the moon for the night. Veshanim, also the cycle of the year. Sheyashlimu mahalacham. That now the humanity and the nature, right, will depend on the sun for the cycle of the year. ויוסיפו שנית לשוב בדרך אשר הלכו בה, they go around and right, they circularly, ושנת החמה, and the year of the sun, כשסה יום is like 365 days, right? Because there's
Right.
ושנת הלבנה, כ30 יום, and the cycle of the moon is 30 days. A little bit, just a little bit less. והיו להם אורות ברכי השמיים להאיר על הארץ, and there will be luminaries that will shine in the firmament להאיר על הארץ, to shine on the הארץ. הוסיף, this is what we, שיהיה אורה מגיע לארץ. הקדוש ברוך הוא was גוזר that the light should have a direction towards the earth also. That's what we spoke about earlier in the shiur.
Yeah.
כי אפשר שיראה להם אור בשמיים. You can see light in the sky. Think about it. You can see the sun, but the sun doesn't have to shine on the earth.
Yeah.
You see stars, but those stars, you see they're shining, but their light doesn't come down.
They're too far away.
They're too far away, or they're just not shining towards us. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu decreed that the light of the sun and the light of the moon should be directed towards the earth.
That's what you started with.
That's right.
Interesting.
כי אפשר שיראה להם האור בשמיים, ויעשו כל המעשים הנזכרים, מבלי שיראו ארץ. Because they can do all their cycles and everything without having that light directed towards the earth. לכך אמר שיהיו להם אורות ברכי השמיים, להאיר על הארץ. המבט בארץ ויאירו עליה, so that they can look down onto earth and shine their light on earth. ויעש אלוהים וייתן אותם אלוהים, מלמד שלא נהיו אלו המאורות מגוף הרקיע, אבל גופים נקבעים בו. And here wants to be that, the pasuk says like this, ויעש אלוהים את שני המאורות הגדולים, and God made those 2 big luminaries, את המאור הגדול, the big luminary, לממשלת them to rule over the day, ואת המאור הקטון, and the smaller luminary, לממשלת הלילה, to rule over the night, ואת הכוכבים and the stars.
Why does it say? Why does it
Vai-
say מחילה, שני מאורות הגדולים, זה מאור גדול ומאור קטן.
Because essentially there are the two main, הגדולים meaning the two main sources of light. One that is shining more, and one because originally there were two מאור גדול, they were at the same line. And then what happened? והיה מאור הקטון and one dropped. That's the מלכות. ויתן אותם אלוהים ברכי השמיים, and Hashem placed them in the firmament of heaven, להאיר על הארץ, to shine upon the earth. Says the Ramban, מלמד, it's going to teach us שלא נהיו אלו המאורות מגוף הרקיע. Don't think that the nature, the physical nature of those luminaries were made out of the nature of the rakia. אבל גופים נקבעים בו. But there were objects that were placed there.
Okay.
Okay, י"ח.
למשול ביום ובלילה.
ולמשול ביום ובלילה, and to dominate the day and the night, ולהבדיל בין האור ובין החושך, and to differentiate between light and darkness. וירא אלוהים כי טוב, Hashem saw that it was good, ויהי ערב ויהי בוקר יום רביעי. Says the מלביב, עניין, מחילה, says the רמב"ן.
Yeah, I was wondering.
Says the Ramban, I'm traumatized by my עניין הממשלה
So sad.
דבר אחר. מבלי האורה שהזכיר. He says the concept of dominance is independent and different than the concept of shining light upon. That's not right. כי יכלול מה שאמר תחילה והיו לאותות ולמועדים. It includes, because it includes the purpose of the cycle of the sun and the moon for the different seasons, for the definition of time, of days and years. כי יש להם ממשלה בארץ בשינויים אשר יולידו בה. They have different control and influence on earth beyond the cycles. וממשלה בהוויה ובהפסד בכל השפנים. We know that the sun and the moon both have a direct impact in the creation on earth, on nature.
That's why they should have been created on the third day.
I'm sorry?
Yeah.
Okay, but that's a question that we'll get back to. Why it's not on the third day?
Or the second day.
The second day, well,
It could theoretically show.
so the memshala, the memshala, he wants to say, is a different impact the sun and the moon has on creation. Until now, we've spoken about shining light. We've spoken about cycles, but not a direct influence on the actual creations, right? Here he says, memshala, it has an impact, and we see it. We see how the moon has a direct impact on water and a direct impact on influence on agriculture, and so the sun does.
Yeah.
During the day, the sun has an impact. Right? It allows the trees and vegetation to grow and develop. And we know that the moon has an impact on anything that is water-based. Everything that is cold and has in it the nature of water, it will get impacted by the moon. That's why he says that they have a dominance on day and night, and not on something specific. Because during the day it has a dominance, the sun has its dominance, and during the night the moon has its dominance. Because they control creation. Yeah. So that's what is in לממשלת היום. וייתכן, another פירוש, שהממשלה עוד כוח אצילותם, שהם מנהיגי התחתונים ובכוחם ימשול כל מושל. meaning that you can tap into the power of the sun and the power of the moon, yes, and through their powers, okay, you can now gain yourself powers and apply it.
That sounds like kishufim.
נכון, נכון, you're right. והמזל הצומח ביום ימשול בו, והמזל הצומח בלילה ימשול בו. So if you know how to tap in to the power of the moon, right? And that mazal that is aligned with this will automatically benefit from that power, and it can be applied. The same thing with the sun. כעניין שכתוב אשר חלק השם אלוהיך אותם לכל העמים. הקדוש ברוך הוא gave the powers to all the nations, meaning you can benefit from that power and apply it. It could be used for kishuf, or it can be used for not kishuf. But yes, והוא מה שאמר הכתוב, מונה מספר לכוכבים, לכולם שמות יקרא. וכן לכולם בשם יקרא, right? Because the asters have names, they have angels fueling their essence, right? And so those names and those identity and those essences, if you know how to take advantage of them and how to tap into their strength, you now benefit from that strength. So this is why they're called moshalim, because they are the sources of powers that if you tap into them, you can then benefit from these powers. Right? Because when you give a name, you define that through that name a specific essence. And when you have two different names, that the names differentiate from this power and that power. לזה כוח הצדק והיושר, ולזה כוח הדם והחרב, right? Some have the koach of justice, some have the koach of killing, like the mazal adom, like we spoke, like Parov refers to. We spoke about. ולכן בכל הכוחות כידוע בהצטגננות, like all the powers that we know in astrology. והכל בכוח עליון ולרצונו. And obviously, all these kochot are fueled by HaKadosh Baruch Hu, right? He injects these kochot. He has malachim appointed for each koach. Now, yeah? ולכך אמר, גדול אדוננו ורב כוח. Great is HaKadosh Baruch Hu ורב כוח. He has a lot of kochot. Why? Because he's the source of all the kochot, of all the ambassadors, right, that are placed in creation with their own specific koach. כי הוא גדול על כולם, because he's on top of all, ורב כוח עליהם, and he has more kochot than all of them. וכן אמר מרוב אונים ואמיץ כוח. ועל דרך הסוד שרמזתי לך תהיה ממשלה גמורה באמת. And on the secrets that I have hinted to you, תהיה ממשלה גמורה באמת, you will understand that there's full control. Yes? What is that referring?
Control the sun and the moon of
everything.
Of everything.
Of everything. Meaning, if you understand the system of the Sfirot, and you understand what is the purpose of creation, which is to elevate essentially back the Malchut to its original place. And so if you know how to tap in to the structure of the Sfirot, yeah, you're above all these kohot, and now there is control of all of this. Right? Okay. ולהבדיל בין האור, we're going to do Chris so we can finish because he's going to go. ולהבדיל בין האור ובין החושך, okay? אמר רבי אברהם, to differentiate between light and darkness, רבי אברהם בן עזרא, כי בצאת השמש ביום ואור הלבנה בלילה יבדילו בין האור ובין החושך. פשט פשוט, right? Because the sun comes out and brings light and it's the day, and the לבנה comes out at night, and that's what it means, the difference. ולפי דעתי כי האור הנזכר בכאן הוא היום. It means when here the pasuk להבדיל בין האור ובין החושך, it really means היום. והחושך לילה, כי כן שמם, that's what they're called, right? אור is called day, and חושך is called לילה. כי כן שמם, כמו שאמר, ויקרא אלוהים ליום אור ולחושך קרא לילה. So is the pasuk saying differentiate between day and night, or between light and dark, which, right, it's two perushim essentially it's the same thing. Yes, it's just והנה בכל מעשה בראשית יזכיר הכתוב הצוואה ויספר המעשה. Right, it goes back to a system. We know that throughout Maasei Bereshit, there is the commandment, and that follows with an action, with a realization. וכאן ציווה והיו למאורות, וסיפר וייתן אותם אלוהים. Here, how is the Maaseh? The Maaseh is והיו למאורות, and the Torah explains וייתן אותם האלוהים and what he did with it. ואמר ולמשול ביום ובלילה, and its purpose to rule, to dominate, to be dominant on day and night. שיהיה מושל ביום וזה מושל בלילה. He added another element meaning there was a tzivui, a commandment, there was a realization, and beyond the realization, right, there was also an application of its influence on earth, which is an extra step. והממשלה היא מה שציווה והיו לאותות ומועדים. Right, again, going back to what is the ממשלה, right, והיו לאותות ומועדים, וסיפר שאין ממשלת ושניהם שווה. And the Torah tells us that the influence of the sun is not equal to the influence of the לבנה, אבל להבדיל בין אור ובין החושך, כי הגדול למשול ביום ויהיה כולו אור, גם במקום שאין השמש מגיע. והקטן למשול בלילה, ויהיה חושך. זולתי הירח שיגיע חושכו. He wants to say that להבדיל בין האור ובין החושך, right, is independent from where the light actually shines. It's a source of light, and and there is a source of choshech, right? So the sun shines, yes, even if the light its light doesn't go all the way, even from a place that it doesn't benefit from that light, right? It still shines. And that's the tzivui. This is the commandment. When the Torah says להבדיל בין היום ובין הלילה, כמו ויבדל אלוהים בין האור ובין החושך. So here he creates a parallelism between or and choshech and yom and laila. Okay? And he says that the memshala is that it shines, even if you need to know that there is light shining, even if you don't benefit from it, and there is influence of choshech, even if the light doesn't shine in it, the light of the moon doesn't shine in it. There is still the concept of choshech. Right, and this is a little different than the first explanation, the pshat pashut, right? Because now we have parallel existence of the moon and choshech, which are two concepts, and then and chama, which is also two concepts. Yeah. We went too fast there.
Yeah.
Tell me.
After that, sorry.
Where are you going?
I have to go somewhere.
What's more important than us?
Nothing, but it's called respect.
Let's do it tomorrow.
Sorry, Rabbi. Mechila.
No, that's disrespect. I love you. Yeah.
Difference. Explain just the last thing. The difference between the disconnect.
It's the Rabbi Avraham ibn Ezra and the first pirush of the Ramban are coming to say that there is, when the Torah talks about or and choshech, it's really talking about yom and laila.
Yeah, let's see.
Meaning there's no longer concept or essence of or and choshech. It shifted, like we said earlier. In the beginning, the first 3 days, you had or and choshech, which would define day and night, right? And it shifted to the moon and the sun, right? So essentially, as we go, right, there's no more or and choshech in the system. Then he says, he says here, if you read the psukim, the fact that the Torah says ulhavdil ben haor uben hachoshech again, okay,
Right.
He wants to introduce that no, or and choshech still exists,
Right.
but it's now parallel to what services the earth. Meaning you can have or without benefit from the light. That's the or. And you can have choshech without the moon shining. Because these concepts are still part of the creation, even if you as the earth don't benefit from that. And it's a chidush. It's a chidush. Because until now, we were just transferring, like exchanging names, right? Here, it just separates the two concepts and they both coexist.
Is there an example that you could bring where there would be or without the sun?
Or haganuz. And you can have choshech without night. The concept of choshech could still exist. טוב. ויבוקר יום רביעי. We're getting there.
Rosh Hashanah